We're discussing the government's flagship Levelling Up policy designed to lessen UK regional inequality. It's just a slogan. That's the verdict of an influential cross-party group of MPs. I'm still with Catherine McBride here in the studio, fellow at the Centre for Brexit Policy, friend of the show. We also have joining us now Rick Halliwell. He returns to On the Money. He's managing director of Oven New, an oven cleaning company. And we finally have John Elliott, another friend of the show. He's founder of eBac, the northeast-based manufacturer which makes washing machines, air conditioners and other components. John, manufacturing legend that you are, great to have you with us. Let's turn to you first, if I may. Levelling up, it's just a slogan. Few people know more about doing business in the northeast of England than you. What do you reckon, John?
No, it's more than a slogan. It's a waste of money. I think we've got to step back and solve the real problem. Sometimes, the problems which are urgent and what are important. The first thing, maybe this is getting a bit off the subject, we need a better way of running the country. The joke of Westminster, is a joke, isn't it? So that's the first thing. That's not going to happen. But another thing that we seem to miss out every time is we confuse spending money with investing it. Levelling up is spending money. Making infrastructure better makes life easier, but it doesn't add any value. We've got a trade deficit equal to £1,000 per person. We consume more than we produce. And we get by borrowing money that we can't repay. In fact, paying the interest now costs us something like 60 billion a year. We've got to just sit back and use some common sense. Let's get the country more wealthy first, rather than, let's not divide the cake. Let's get a bigger cake, and we can do it. But we need more manufacturing. We need to make more things that we need.
We have seen, John, a lot of money going into the northeast of England. It really is, if the government was going to point to an area where it has implemented some levelling up policy, it would point, wouldn't it, to the Tees Valley Development Corporation. It would point to your part of the world. It's moving the Treasury to Darlington. There has been an emphasis on the northeast, not least because the Tees Valley Mayor, Ben Houchen, is very well known, a Conservative. He's friends with the Chancellor. Has any of that money, John, in your view, I know you're a government spending sceptic, has any of that money, in your view, done any good?
The stuff on Teesside is good. That's manufacturing or development of things. But for example, you're going to spend £100 million on Darlington Station. There's nothing wrong with Darlington Station. I use it quite regularly. Now, why don't you invest £100 million in manufacturing? I reckon, give me £100 million, I'll produce manufacturing, which will deliver probably £500 million output every year. We've got to get the economy right first before we start spending the money. We've got to earn it first. Governments think they can buy roads. They should earn them. People aren't gullible. We know we've gone through a tough 2 years. We've got to make sacrifices. We've got to work a bit harder. Just spending more money is not the solution.
Let's turn now to Rick Halliwell, Managing Director of Oven New. Rick, you've talked to me here in the studio before. You have this oven cleaning franchise, a very successful company, operates all over the country. You're joining us today from Wokingham. What's your sense about the need to level up, and what's your sense of the extent to which we have levelled up under this government?
Good afternoon, Liam. Nice to see you again. Good afternoon, everybody. To be brutally honest, I haven't got the faintest idea what this levelling up is trying to achieve. I'm absolutely confused. I mean, is the government trying to get some kind of parity between Uxbridge and Knightsbridge? Is it trying to make Bolton into the new London? Is it trying to make Pateley Bridge into Weybridge? I've got no idea what the actual end game is when it comes to this levelling up. Where, as I see it from my perspective and the perspective of our franchisees, is we're looking for consumers who have some disposable income. And in my view, that would be if you've got clients, customers, the members of the public across the UK who have equal amounts of disposable income, then I would say that things are relatively level as they are. But I'd be very, very interested to listen to John's view as to what he sees levelling up, or anybody else. What is the end game for levelling up? Is it actually having level earnings? Is it having level production? Is it having level disposable income? I have no idea.
We are the most regionally unequal country in the Western world, though, Rick. Transport spending in the southeast of England is 3 or 4 times as much per head than it is in the north, and has been for a generation. You know, you're in Wokingham in Berkshire. You just got a link from Reading near you all the way into London very fast to Essex and Kent beyond. There's been no major project like that in the north of England in my lifetime. And why should kids in the north of England have to go to London to fulfil their dreams? I mean, there are, of course, honourable exceptions like John Elliott. He would say that's nonsense. But many young people and their families feel that they do need to go to the bright lights of London and the southeast in order to really fulfil their potential. It's not like that in Germany. It's not like that in France.
Yeah, absolutely understand that. I mean, we have the railway line literally just behind our offices here in Wokingham. Personally, I have no interest in jumping on a train going to London. I was born in Yorkshire, a very proud Yorkshireman. I still am. I get up there as and when I can. I don't see the problem of people aspiring to want to go to Leeds or to Bradford or to Harrogate or to have a look at some of these other beautiful places to live and to work. Exactly why the media and other outlets have continuously been banging on for years and years and years about the north-south divide. What is it that's actually divided? I know that there are people that are very, very happy. A lot of my relatives still live up in Yorkshire. They have a fantastic quality of life. They've got some superb scenery. They have, I would imagine, a far longer, higher life expectancy living in the north and getting some good exercise, as opposed to breathing diesel fumes and listening to trains rattling past your front door every 5 minutes. So I think we really need to have a far more holistic view as to what it is that we're trying to achieve here, and just define the end game.